going to give you 5 strategies for becoming a master persuader. Many people have a hard time influencing people and are very unaware on how to do it. Lucky for you, there's these 5 strategies that will help you tremendously. Now, this came from a book called The Laws of Human Nature. Link in the description you want to check out. Now, the first strategy is transform yourself into a deep listener. In conversation, our attention is divided. We hear parts of what other people are saying, and at the same time we think about what we're going to say next. We could also be daydreaming about something irrelevant as well. We're more interested in our own thoughts, feelings, and experiences, which is why it's hard to listen to someone with 100% full attention. The solution here is to be motivated to reverse this dynamic. Realize that each person you meet is like an undiscovered country. Imagine that you can step inside people's minds and gain interesting information. Opening your mind to their mind gives you great lessons into human psychology, becoming deeply absorbed in what they say and their non-verbal cues as well. When listening, you must feel and appear relaxed to them, okay? You cannot make this strategic purpose behind your listening too obvious, okay? You must not make it feel like a job interview by barraging them with too many questions, even though they may be doing most of the talking. In the end, the more they talk, the more they reveal things about themselves, such as insecurities and unmet desires, for example. Now, the goal of all this is to make them feel better about themselves. When you stop talking and actually listen to them, they will feel more relaxed in your presence. This will make it easier to plant ideas and influence their behavior. Affect people with the proper mood. Since humans are extremely susceptible to the moods of other people, you can subtly affect people with the proper mood. When doing this, do not judge other people, okay? You must accept them as they are. Now, you can affect people with a warm feeling of rapport. You can do this with laughter and shared pleasures. For example, you can have a drink together, you can have dinner together, or whatever you can think of, okay? Do something together, build that rapport, build that connection to them. Now, your expectations about people are communicated to them non-verbally. Without saying anything, you can have a positive effect on their moods and feelings. For example, you can feel and show excitement when you meet someone. This will communicate to that person in a powerful way, and they will like you more. And which means you can persuade them more easily. Confirm their self-opinion. Basically, you need to validate people's self-opinion of themselves. Now, there's 3 qualities to people's high self-opinion. Okay? And it goes from, I am autonomous and acting on my own free will. And another one is, I am intelligent in my own way. And the third one, I'm good and decent. Okay, people like to believe this about themselves. So you need to validate people in these 3 areas and work around them, so you can be more persuasive. Be aware that validating one of these areas may be more effective to one person than another. Autonomy. Affluence will not work if people feel they are being manipulated. They must choose what it is you want them to do, or they experience it as their choice. People like to feel that they have the free will to choose, so you need to create this impression on them. Your attempts at influence must always follow a similar logic. How can you get others to perceive the favor you're asking for as something desirable? You need to frame it as something pleasurable, as a rare opportunity, and as something other people want to do. Do this and you can persuade them much more easily. Intelligence. When you disagree with someone and oppose your opinion on them, you're implying that you know better than them. If you challenge people like this, they get more defensive and more attached to their opinion. To prevent this, you can be neutral. You don't agree or disagree with it, okay? You're in a neutral position. Now, there's a better method to this. What you can do is you can validate their intelligence. You can see their point of view and agree with it. Their intelligence is flattered. Now you have some room to gently alter their opinion and their defenses has been lowered. Basically, you're giving them validation to make them feel smart, okay? So agree with their points of view, beliefs, and opinions, okay? This will make it easier for you to persuade. So make sure to flatter their ego and intelligence. Goodness. Humans constantly think of ourselves to the moral nature of our actions. Basically, we like to see ourselves as a good person. We don't like to see ourselves as selfish and evil. If you don't believe me, just look at social media. People openly display their support for causes and communities. Very few people will donate to charity anonymously. They want to show people that they're a good person. So when asking for help, frame it as being part of a larger cause they can participate in. When they take these actions, they will feel more better about themselves. You need to appeal to their moral superiority. Do this by putting yourself in an inferior position, lower than them. You also need to show gratitude. Remind them of the good things they have done for you in the past. Once reminded, they will want to live up to this image and do another good deed. They will be extra motivated to prove themselves worthy. Allay their insecurities. Everyone is insecure about something. It can be their looks, creative powers, status, uniqueness, popularity, etc. You need to be able to identify them. Once you know their insecurities, be careful not to trigger them. People are sensitive to any words or body language that cast doubts on their appearance, popularity, etc. The best strategy here is to flatter the qualities that people are insecure about. If the flattery is done right, the person will feel that the flatterer likes us. Keep in mind that we tend to like people who like us, so this gives you the advantage to persuade them more easy. Once again, the key to successful flattery is to make it strategic. You need to do it the right way. For example, if I know that I am awful at basketball, praising me for my basketball skills will not work, because I know that's false. But if I'm uncertain about my skills in a certain area, flattery will be more effective because I'm uncertain about it. So look for qualities that people are uncertain about and flatter them in that area. Now, if the person is powerful and Machiavellian, they might feel insecure about their moral qualities. Flattering about their smart manipulations might backfire. And also, praise of their goodness is too transparent, okay? Because they know themselves too well. What you need to do is flatter them on their advice and criticism and how it has helped you. That's the best thing to do with these types of people. It's always better to praise people for their effort, not their talent. Everyone likes to feel they earned a good fortune through hard work. This is where you need to praise them. People who are your equals, you have more room to flatter. But with people who are your superiors, just simply agree with their opinion and validate their wisdom, okay? Don't flatter your superiors because it's too transparent and obvious that you're trying to, persuade them. Make your flattery sincere as much as possible. For example, don't praise someone that have stiff body language with a fake smile, okay? Because people know it's insincere. It's best to choose qualities that you actually admire and feel the good emotions you are expressing, so keep that in mind. Use people's resistance and stubbornness. Some people are more resistant to any form of influence. These people usually have deep levels of insecurity and low self-opinion, so they will have a rebellious attitude. The best thing to do is play a game of mental judo with them. In judo, you use their aggressive energy to make them fall over on their own. You do not counter with your own move. This is what you need to do mentally. Now remember, people often won't do what others ask them to do because they simply want to assert their own will. You agree with their rebellion and tell them to do what they're doing. It now means they're following your advice. This is distasteful to them. They will assert their will in the opposite direction, which is what you want all along. The essence of reverse psychology. But now let's get into more depth here. Go and talk about certain things that you can use. Use their emotions. The idea here is to not counter their strong emotions. You need to move with emotions and find a way to put them in a productive direction. I'll give you the sole example from the book so you get a better idea on how to use people's emotions. There was a rebellious teenager. He was suspended from school by the principal for dealing drugs. He still needed to do his homework, but was forbidden to be on campus. The boy was definitely not happy. He couldn't do his drug dealing business. He had a strong desire to get vengeance on the principal. The mother of the boy consulted with a therapist. The therapist told the mother to do the following. Explain to the boy that the principal believed only students who attended in person could do well. By keeping the boy away from school, he would fail. It would be better to not try too hard this semester and prove the principal right. Now, this advice was designed to play into his emotions. The boy desired nothing more than to embarrass the principal, so he put a great amount of energy in doing his homework. This was the goal of the therapist all along. I hope this example gives you a better idea on how to use people's emotions. Use their language. You can use people's language and redirect the energy towards something much different. When you use people's words back at them, it has a hypnotic effect. They're more likely to follow what you suggest when you use the exact words they use. I'll give you a story example once again. The therapist Milton Erickson has a case he needed to treat. A husband came to him for advice. He and his wife were religious. They both came from very religious families. They both married, mostly to just please their parents. The honeymoon didn't go so good. They found sex very awkward and did not feel like they were in love. The husband suggested that they get a friendly divorce. Erickson agreed and suggested exactly how to do this friendly divorce. So he instructed him to reserve a room at a hotel. They were to have one final friendly night together. They were to have one last friendly glass of champagne, one last friendly kiss, and so on. The husband followed Erickson's instructions. Now, after that night, the couple decided to remain married. They both had an exciting evening, all part of Erickson's plan. Erickson understood that the husband did not really want a divorce. They both just felt awkward because of their religious backgrounds. They were both deeply insecure about their physical desires. Erickson used the husband's language and desire for a divorce. He gently redirected it to something much different. Use their rigidity. People can be rigid towards something and be unwilling to change. The person can have a deep fear of change because of the uncertainty it can bring. They must have everything on their terms and feel in control. Don't try to give them advice to encourage change. They will just become more stubborn. Stop fighting with these people, okay? Use their rigid behavior to affect gentle change so that it can lead to something greater. On their own, they will discover something new. On their own, they may take it further. Once again, I will give you a story example. A poor and broke son once came to the great 18th century Zen master, Hakuin. He wanted to get his father to practice Buddhism, but the man pretended to be too busy with his bookkeeping to have time for a single chant or prayer. The Zen master knew that this man was an inveterate miser who was only using this as an excuse to avoid religion. Hakuin advised the boy to tell his father that he would pay him on each prayer and chant he did. The father was very happy with the deal. Each day, he presented prayers and chants to Hakuin. Hakuin made sure to pay him. Now, on the 7th day, he has failed to show up. He got so caught up in the chanting that he had forgotten to count how many prayers he has done. A few days later, he admitted to Hakuin that he felt so much better and did not need to be paid anymore. He also became a generous donor to Hakuin's temple later on. So this is an example to give you a better idea on how to use somebody's rigid mentality. Okay, so those are the 5 strategies to become a master persuader. Use those strategies correctly, and you have no problem in persuading people. Information like this is a goldmine. Leave a like and subscribe if this video provided value to you. If you want more, make sure to check out the book. It's called The Laws of Human Nature. Link in the description if you want to check it out. Thanks for watching. Now make sure to fulfill your purpose. And farewell.